Hello everyone, Julia here, and now I'm making the OMG olive goat milk soap using the embeds that I had made in the prior video. And right now I'm mixing in the goat's milk and lye into the oils. Now normally I mix my soap up when I'm doing a design. I'll mix the just until blended, kind of a light trace. I do mix this one a little bit more than I usually do, and that's because I want the olives to be able to stand up in the soap and not fall over, because they are pretty heavy. Because as you can see if you watched the last video, these were day-old soaps. It was already moist, but with all the hand washing I did and mixing the colors in, they're pretty moist. I made all this on the same day, and the olives I let sit for about probably an hour and a half before I started making the soap. And then before I even put the pimento into the top of the olive, they were sitting around for about an hour or so. I added a little bit of titanium dioxide to the main part of the batch. I didn't really want it white, and it's not going to be. I mean, I have to add quite a bit of titanium dioxide to get a white soap using goat's milk. This is gonna, the main soap is gonna have 3 different colors. It's gonna be kind of the off-white, and in that cup I'm using a little bit of copper mica mixed with, what do you call that, brown mineral oxide or brown oxide, something like that. Just a tiny bit of that in there. Maybe a little orange oxide. Kind of mixed all the colors together to get the right one. And then I'm going to use a little bit of green, and for the life of me I can't remember what that color is, but it's kind of a light green. It's really pretty. This soap is going to be an in the pot swirl, and then I'm going to add the embed into the center of that. This soap is not quite as thick as I had wanted it to, but then before the end you're going to see how fast it kind of sneaks up on me. It's just about the right thickness. I wanted it at a little bit heavy trace, but I didn't want it too heavy because I wanted the top of my soap to be flat, and as you'll be able to see later, it's not going to happen that way, but you just kind of go with it. But the most important thing was that this soap was thick enough to hold up my olives. So I'm not going to complain. I don't know if I told y'all before, but I gel all my goat's milk soaps. I don't throw them in the freezer or the refrigerator. I just leave them sitting out. I don't insulate them because it doesn't need it. They all get hot, but I just let them do their thing. And the reason I don't put them in the freezer is in the past when I've tried that, they tend to do a partial gel, and that's just, there's nothing wrong with the soap when that happens, but I don't like that ring, so I just let them do their thing. If I feel like it's getting a little too hot, I do have a window unit, and I'll stick the loaf in front of the window unit, and that seems to keep it cool enough. a little note here. When I'm putting I only have 5 olives. I'm doing 10 bars. And I'm putting the olive in every other notch, as you can see running down the side of that. And those are measured out to 1 inch. Because my soap loaf is 4 inches by 2.5 inches. And my soaps are already tall. And the bars tend to be heavy. So I just go ahead and cut them at 1 inch. But since I only have 5 olives, I want an olive to show on each bar of soap. So only the front's going to show the olive, and the back is just going to be the in the pot swirl. So you just make sure you get them right there in the center of your cut line. So each olive's going to be cut, and it will show on each bar of soap on the front side. Also, just remember, and don't do like I did, and unmold your soap loaf without marking where you're going to cut. I had to figure that out after I unmolded that this morning. But I'm going to blame it on having to go to the wellness clinic and get my blood drawn for my yearly tests. Blood loss maybe? I don't know. Our work every year likes to make sure we're healthy, so we have to give blood so they can test it and make sure your cholesterol and everything's alright. I'm usually pretty healthy, just a little on the heavy side. As you can see, the soap got super thick on me. Well, not super thick, but it is thickening up quick. And as any of you soap makers know, you just got to go with it. So I had a little bit of color left in those cups, and it was getting really thick. So instead of pouring it on in a line like I wanted to, I kind of had to scoop it on. And I didn't get to do the flat design that I prefer, so I had to end up doing just kind of a texture. This still looked okay, it's just not exactly what I wanted, but overall I was happy with it. Can't waste any of that soap, got to keep piling it on. I edited this video because I wasn't gonna make y'all go through the pains of watching me do the top over and over and over again, which I did. I don't know, sometimes I just have an issue with how it looks and I keep wanting to redo it, and I'll redo it until I'm finally to the point to where, you know what, if I keep doing this, it's just gonna mess up, because it's getting thicker and thicker at this point. I could play with tops forever. Well, here you are, the finished bar of soap. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment.